Thank you very much, Victor. You will help me with the slides.
Okay, let me check my email. So
yeah, I shared it with you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, the first one.
Okay. I wish others can join us so that they won't miss this particular session. Let me see if I can ask every other person to come in. So, it's coming up.
Okay.
Okay. This is right?
Yes, this is it. This is it. So thank you. It's just present mode so everybody can see it. Thank you.
This is perfect, right?
Yeah, this is okay.
All right.
So yeah, thank you very much for having me, Victor. I really appreciate this opportunity. Right. Today, I'll be talking on how to create brand-specific content for promotion and marketing. Right. This is a very, very, very interesting part or key part of content marketing. Right. The whole what's it called? The whole idea of content writing is to drive an action, right? The action could be engagement, the action could be brand awareness, the action could be lead generation. And how do we achieve this? Is through our branded content. And for my slide today, I'll be showing you guys basically, I think 4 or 5 steps on how to create brand specific content to drive promotion and marketing. So these are my key areas of discussion. So let me just move into introduction. I don't know if people can hear me. I like my section to be interactive. So once in a while, I wouldn't mind people just say, hey, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm following you, stuff like that. So let me jump into it. So what is content, right? So according to, sorry, yeah, move to the 4th slide.
Okay.
Yeah, to the 4th slide. Yeah. So what is content? According to dictionary, right? This can be defined as a subject matter or symbolic significance of something, either a latent content or a manifest content. Basically, what this is saying is that a content basically is a subject matter or the core of something or a symbolic significance of something, right? So then let's now break it down to why we're here. What is content marketing? This is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract, to attract and retain a clear, defined audience, and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. Is this clear?
Very clear, Mr. Victor. Very clear.
Okay. So these days, almost everybody is flinging the word, I'm a content marketer or I'm a content creator, but I feel like very few people actually understand the intention or the purpose of content marketing. Most people feel maybe they create, because they've created a content that has various possibilities, right? Or that has a lot of engagement, automatically it has made them a content marketer, a content creator. Well, for me, that's just total bullshit, right? As a content marketer or creator, your core responsibility is to plan, create, and share valuable content that attract and convert prospects into customers, right? And that same customer also turn them into repeat buyers, right? And the type of content the content marketer shares depends on what he or she sells, right? So as a content marketer, your key responsibility, one, is to plan, right? Create, right? And share valuable content. Your content is not valuable if it's not driving an action. You can have the whole buzz, you can have the whole likes, you can have the whole engagement, but if it's not driving a business focused action, you're not your content is not considered as valuable, right? And the whole point of having a valuable content is to attract and convert prospects. I am a prospect, you are a prospect, but the moment my content is driving me to make a particular action, either sales or share, right? I automatically become a customer, right? And also not just stopping there, that same valuable content also turns that one-time customer into a repeat customer. Please, next slide.
Can you see
Sorry,
that?
please just hold up. Yeah, I can see that. I can. I'm having a problem. Just hold up, please. My computer decided to just act on its own. Anyways, yeah. So what is branded content, right? A branded content is a marketing technique, right, that involves creating content linked to a brand that allows the consumer to make a connection with the brand. And so what this basically means is it's a marketing technique whereby I create a content for me to be able to connect with, let's say, Victor, or let's say Esther, through their touch point, right? So that's what branded content is. So the main reason of me connecting with you is for you to understand what I'm offering, or for you to understand the value that I can give to you. That's what a branded content is. And the main characteristics of branded content are listed below. Branded content are focused on the values of the brand, not on the product or its services. These days, a lot of digital marketers are very keen on product sales, product that, product this, and they overflog this and they sort of bore prospects. That is not what branded content is. Branded content primarily focuses on the value that the brand itself is giving to the consumer. Okay, I have an iPhone, or I want an iPhone. What value is iPhone giving to me? iPhone is not giving me the value of of having a phone so that I can call somebody. No, that's not the value that iPhone as a brand gives to me. iPhone as a brand doesn't give me the value of me being able to send messages. No, that's not the value that the brand iPhone gives to me. That is the value that the product itself gives to me. But as a brand, right, as an iPhone brand, the value that I get from it is social currency, right? The fact that I use iPhone, people see me in certain ways. That is a brand value that I can align with, right? So a branded content focuses more on the value of the brand and not the value of the product or services that you're rendering, right? A brand content also seeks to generate conversation and notoriety around the brand, right? A branded content also generates added value to the users. Like I said, me wanting to use iPhone, right? It's not because of what the phone itself offers me, but the social currency that the phone offers me as a user, right? A branded content also appeals to the emotions of the users or the audience or the prospect that you want to talk to. right? And being able to appeal to people's emotions, believe me, you can sell whatever you want to sell. For an example, let's take the beggars on the road. Before you are able to give a beggar your money, that beggar must have connected with you emotionally, right? There are some beggars that just meet you and you're like, nah, this guy is Baruf. This guy is a Jones, and this guy just wants to scam me. This guy just wants to chop my money. Because his manner of approach, the way he's talking to you, doesn't really appeal to you emotionally. But there are some that you would see that will meet you, and you feel like withdrawing all the money in your account to give to this person. Am I communicating? I don't know if this
Yes,
makes sense.
yes, you are, Mr. Richard.
So your branded content should be able to appeal to the emotions of your users or your audience. If not, you're just doing normal thing, right? Also, your branded content makes use of storytelling. To be able to, as a brand, for you to appeal to your audience, right, you must tell a story. That's it. Social media basically is about storytelling. It's why you see most of all these influencers have a lot of influence, because they have this story that they're telling their audience, that their audience is interested in. The story might be entertaining, the story might be inspiring, the story might be informative, right? But they're telling the story, right? So as a brand, right, your content, your branded content should be able to tell a story that your audience or users are interested in. If not, you're doing it wrong. Also, your branded content can be presented through multiple formats and diffused through multiple channels. So, not just the content that you post on Instagram that is your branded content. If you're doing it right on Instagram, you can spread the content across different channels, across your Twitter channel, across your website channel. So it's not just focused on one channel. So it could be diffused. Lastly, your branded content could be co-created. It could have, or you could have brand partners that would jump on your content to create it. An example of a co-created branded content is user-generated content. An example also of a brand of a branded content that is co-created is the challenges that we see. One of them, the Bob challenge, right? They are all co-created. So the brand didn't just create all the whole Bob videos that you see online. A lot of users jumped on it and created their own Bob video, but using the same story, or sorry, not using, but telling the same story that the Bob music is supposed to tell. Another one is the Duduke challenge, right? These are just research and that you guys are familiar with, right? These are also co-created. The brand didn't just create all the videos online. No, she created her own video and opened it for everybody to jump and create theirs too. So that's also an example of a branded content. Next slide, please.
Okay.
So what is not a branded content? The term branded content is relatively new, right? There are still a lot of confusion around the term, and sometimes it is confused with other related techniques. Let's see what the difference is between conventional advertising, content marketing, and product placement are. Basically, what is a branded content? I didn't want to go into details because I just wanted the class to be more focused. So we won't talk about others I've mentioned. Let's just focus on what the branded content is, right? The branded content is not focused on product and services, like I mentioned earlier, right? Your branded content basically focuses on the brand values, right? Although although brand products can appear in your branded content, right? They are not the main focus, nor are they directly talked about. Instead, the content is focused more on the abstract value and the brand story. So instead of focusing, yeah, we can see the brand product, right? Because eventually you want people to patronize you. So we could one way or the other infuse the brand product in your branded content. But the primary content, right, are those abstract values, those intangible values that your audience derive from your content. That brand story that still inspires your audience. That is what a branded content is, and not content around what's it called, your product and services. Branded content are not evasive. No, they are not. TV spots or digital formats such as banners and pop-ups are based on plundering, right? The users are based on plundering the users so that they can steal their time and attention. On the other hand, branded content seeks for the users to consume it voluntarily, right? Branded content are not explicit. I don't know if you guys are following me.
Yes, we're following, Mr.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So branded content are not explicit. In product placement, the product always appears very clear, while in branded content, right, this is not an essential requirement. So you can have a branded content that doesn't even have anything that talks about the brand. You can, right? You can also have a branded content where maybe at the end of the whole humorous video, you just find a way to just infuse the brand product, right? So branded content are not explicit like product placement, right? Branded content are not passive. While the brand has the confirmation that their product will be present, the control of the details about what goes on around the product placement, that is, the context of the placement, is mostly controlled by the creator of the main content. For an example, a movie or a series, and not on the brand itself. Right? So let's move to the next.
Sorry to cut you in, Mr. Victor. So if you're following, please let's get a yes in the chat room. Let's get a yes so we can continue. If you're following, everyone, let's get a yes in the chat room if you're following. If you can hear us, let's get a yes in the chat room if you're following. Okay, Esther, thank you. Okay, Oyetulani, thank you. Okay, I think you can proceed, Mr. Victor, you can proceed.
Okay. So I just took a water break. Just please pardon me.
Necessary.
So advantages of branded content, right? It helps build an emotional connection with the brand. Your content has the potential of going viral. Like if you have good branded content, a lot of people will share. You hardly see people share content that are about product, or about sales. But content that are educational, that are informative, that are funny, that are witty, right? You find people sharing them. These are content that have the potential of becoming viral, right? Your branded content helps improve brand positioning. What is brand positioning? Basically, on the ladder, right? Every brand has where their position. For an example, in the beverage industry, Pepsi, Coca-Cola is positioned as number one, right? Followed by Pepsi, and this position is based on brand perception, brand affinity, and actual sales. Yeah, currently we see Pepsi doing a lot, right? So before, the gap between Pepsi in terms of brand positioning and Coke was a lot. But Pepsi gradually now is closing on that gap, even though Coca-Cola is still number one. If Coca-Cola don't do anything strategic, right, they might lose their number one positioning. So branded content gives you that positioning, because then it drives affinity to your brand. The more affinity you have for your brand, the higher you go on the positioning strata, right? I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I don't know if people are following.
Yes, we're following Mr. Victor.
Okay. So it also helps generate engagement and loyalty amongst the customers, because then your customers understand your brand story. They're more inclined to be loyal to you because they know where you're coming from and where you want to go to with your product, right? Lastly, it also helps promote traffic and leads. Please, the next slide.
Oh, I think I've moved too fast, right?
Sorry?
Yes, this next slide.
Okay. So examples of branded content. This is an example. Yeah. So examples of branded content. This is something from Chobani. You can see how they what they sell is dog food, right? But if you see the way they position the picture, the primary focus in this picture is about the dog. See how very what's the word? Oh, the dog looks, right? So their primary target audience are dog lovers, and anybody that sees this dog picture, like, oh, this dog is cute, this dog is nice. But then they now um, put their product strategically or stylishly in the picture, right? So this is like a very, very, very sweet way of communicating what you do, right? And if you see the caption,
Yeah.
hello?
Yes, I'm coming. No,
Okay, so if you see
I'm not around you. I'm not in the estate.
there's a
Sorry.
background noise. Yeah. So if it's I didn't capture the caption. Okay. If you see one of the hashtags, say dogs love Chubani. The caption that was there basically is saying that, okay, our dogs like to have Chubani. Why not get this for your own dog? But I did capture this in this screenshot. You can see the other slide. This is for what's it called, for the Fit Farm people. The caption says, "Snow, a reminder that you still have a few more weeks to work on your summer body." Um, Banana smoothie. So they are trying to sell their banana smoothie, and banana smoothie is quite healthy for people that are fit farms, for people that want to get that summer body, right? But they stylishly sort of advertise their smoothie through an important information, which is that the snow is about to end, and once it does, summer will start. And once summer starts, you need to have that summer body, right? So that you can, because during summer in overseas, a lot of people don't wear full clothes. They all wear really scanty clothes to show their curves and whatever. So yeah, so this is like a very creative way of advertising your product. Also, this indulged by what's it called? By Coco, right? So the picture itself just makes you hungry. I want to eat. So even if you don't want to purchase, the moment you see this picture, you just start salivating, right? So this is another good product picture. They didn't even have to say anything. The picture itself is already doing the marketing. If you see some of the I don't know. Okay, if you see some of the comments, you see people say stuff like, "Oh, I want this. This is yummy. This is that. This is this." So this is a very good example of a branded content. Sorry, next slide. I'm on slide 19 now. So sorry, slide 10.
Okay. This right?
So this is also another example. Yes, this is slide 10. So this is also another example of a branded content. This content is more informative, right? But then you're doing it in an engaging way. So instead of writing a lot of notes about how to um, bake the product, just gave pictures of it, really nice pictures that are appealing. If you see the arrangement of everything, you can it feels as if you can literally make this thing just by looking at this picture. And if you see the way if you see her caption, you see that the the caption there is the main purpose of the caption is to drive engagement or to drive people to comment. If you see, There are two major ingredients missing in this picture. Who can tell me? Answer in the comment section. Despite the really cool picture and everything, she also wanted people not just to like, to also comment on it too, so that it can drive engagement, can get people's opinion. Please, next slide. So these are that content for Pepsi, for the love of it. So they use their Instagram feed in doing this. Also, next slide. These are just examples of branded content. Next slide.
Okay.
So this content, I was one that did the direction. This particular artwork, I was one that did the direction for it, and also the copy. At the time, right, the content strategy was to leverage recent happenings and nostalgic feelings to drive engagement on Star Page. And a lot of us played these as kids, right? And if you check out most of our audience at the time, right, they were all between 18 to 35. This is like our core audience, and all of them at some point in their life had experienced this, right? I don't know, Skupatumana was a thing that period. Who can remember Skupatumana? I don't know if you guys jumped on it then. So I sort of wanted to tie into Skupatumana. Yeah, it was very big on Twitter. So I wanted to jump on it as a brand, jump on Skupatumana, because this was like a key touch point or key engagement point among our audience. A lot of our audience were doing this Skupatumana, but I didn't just want it to be very, very, very basic or just very, very random, right? I still also wanted to bring the brand into it because the brand was sort of driving that nostalgic feel. While growing up, a lot of us used to drink Star, or a lot of us were very familiar with Star before the new brands like Bots started coming up. We wanted to give people that throwback feel. Okay, oh yes, Star has been there right from time. Oh, forget all these ones; they've been there right from time. So this was like a very sweet and cool, less intrusive way of engaging our users at the time through Skupatumana and through this. So you see how we just infuse the brand element. We don't make it. We didn't make it like we can just put the star bottle there, right? But if you put the star bottle there, it would be too much show and tell. So we didn't want that so much show and tell. We just had to put elements of the brand there. So let's go to the next slide. This is an example of branded content. Next slide. How do you create brand specific content? So for this session, this is basically why all of us are here. We want to learn how to create brand specific content to drive promotion or to drive market or to drive an action on our platform, right? So if we, please the next slide.
Okay. This right or the next one?
The next slide. Yeah, the next one.
Identify your audience. Okay.
First things first, you need to identify who you're speaking to, who you want to engage with, who your core audience are. You know, there are like tons of people on social media, there are tons of people online. Most of them are your audience, some are not, some are prospect, some are not. So the first things first, right, is identifying your audience. So if you see that Skupatumana post that I mentioned earlier, right? What's sort of informed that creative director? Because one, I understood who the audience or who the star audience were at the time. First of all, I knew their demography, right? Aside just their demography, I understood their psychography, right? So I knew that a lot of them were between 18 to 35, right? A lot of them at some point in their life, especially when they were universities or when they were younger, had interacted with this star brand, right? A lot of them are very social savvy, and they always want to jump on any new trend just to drive social currency. That, sincerely, the reason is why most of all these challenges that you see done by all the celebrities go viral? It's because one, a lot of people in our generation right now, when I say our generation, people between 18 to 35 or 18 to 40, right? They are very, 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 very keen on social currency. Like, gone are the days when you would tell somebody that I will give you, what's it called? I will give you 10 bottles of Star, and they'll be jumping and they'll be screaming. No, they'll rather prefer you mention them on the Star page, or you drive followers to their pages. I don't know if I'm correct. If anybody has a contrary opinion, just say yes. Just drop a yes in the comment section. So doesn't look as if I'm the one that's just. So if you have a contrary opinion, just say it. So a lot of people right now are very keen on, what's it called, on social currency. They want people to notice them online. They want people to know that they exist, right? And they, they want people to see them in a certain way online. So most people right now focus their energy on their social media platforms than their real life. Most people focus on creating a brand perception online than their actual individualistic brand perception in reality, right? So that's just what it is right now. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but that's what it is currently, right? And the Generation X, no, sorry, the Generation Z, the one after the millennials, those ones are the worst actually. But who am I to judge? So please, next slide.
Okay.
Please, next slide. So defining your audience. It is one thing to develop content, but you really need to develop the strategy around your content. And that starts with defining your audience, right? Many new businesses I've worked with, right, develop buyer profile personas to help narrow down the kind of topics or content they want to develop, right? So having a well laid out um, persona or profile persona or consumer persona, right, helps you narrow down the kind of topics you want to own, or the kind of content you want to create to engage your audience, right? So more detailed, it also helps with more detailed messaging that would lead to better conversion. So on social media, there are lots of voices. They are online. There are a lot of voices that are some are claiming to be thought leaders, while some are actually thought leaders. Some are claiming comedians, while some are just, we know they are not funny, but they're still claiming to be funny online. That is for them to do their thing, right? Some are claiming to be witty. Some are claiming to be savages. So online, there's different voices on social media, right? And people follow different people for different reasons, right? Me as a Christian, right? If you go to my Instagram page, you will see certain gospel artists that I follow because I find their content engaging, right? There are some people that probably want to build a career in politics. If you go to their social media platforms, you see them following a lot of politicians, right? So they are just different voices with different brand personas online. So you as a brand can't just be speaking to everybody, right? You need to know your audience first of all, right? They know what they want or what they are currently listening to that is engaging them, right? Then build content around these topics, around these topical issues, right? Like I said, let me make references to that, to the Scopa to Mana post. One of our direction was to leverage trending topics, right? And also leverage nostalgic content, right? So we wanted to speak to these people because we know these guys always jump on topics that are trending. They always jump on every new thing. They just want to jump on it. And how do we do that? Was to just create a content around one of all those trending topics that was trending there, and one of them was that school party manner. Because we understood how our contents thought or how they think, we were able to create such content like that. You may also have different personas or demographics they are trying to target as a business, right? And cater for. So yeah, most brands have different brand personas. One of the brands that we're working with, or that I worked with, or that I've worked with, was the Lipton iced tea, right? When it did the launch, I worked on that brand, and we had different personas. We had the primary people who wanted to read, like this was what they call. But then there were some audiences that we didn't want to leave out. I also wanted to engage them. Those ones were our secondary, right? So it's okay to have different, what's it called, brand, different um, um, personas, right? So your audience focus wasn't necessarily be just one. You could have a couple, right? But then let it be defined. Um, when you want to define your audience into personas, you will be sorry. When you define your audience into personas, you'll be able to identify your consumers' tension and consumers' insight. Key thing here, your consumers' tension. What are their pain points? So from that pain point, you can be able to engage them. Please, next slide. So I created a model for creating a consumer insight. First of all, and this consumer insight helps you in defining your what's it called, your audience. First of all, research your audience. Research who your audience are, what they do, their daily life, blah 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 blah. Just a deep dive into who your audience are. Then afterwards, create your audience into personas. Create segment of your audience. So yeah, let's say this is Obi, this is this is that, this is Victor. Victor does this every morning. Victor spends 2 hours on social media, blah blah blah. Just create a persona after researching your audience. Then from your persona, you can then identify what your consumers' tensions are and what the cultural truth is. So your cultural truth is basically those truths that or those things that influences your audiences or your consumer because of the environment they find themselves. For an example, the post about summer body, the example of body content that I showed you guys about summer body. I don't know if Victor can go back to that. Is it possible to go back to that? Just go back one more. Again. Yeah. So this is the post about summer body. If you see the caption, snow, a reminder that you still have in a few more weeks to work on your summer body. If you tell a Nigerian this thing, the guy will look at you like, what is this one saying? For us, every day is summer body. For us, like every day is summer. Do you get? But in overseas, right, the cultural truth is that they have a different way that is different from that of Nigeria. They have the snow. I can't remember the weather they have again. Oh Lord, my God. Yeah,
Winter,
they have
summer.
winter, autumn, summer, right? So they have different. I think they have the rainy season too. Or that is not part of it.
They have
I'm
a
not sure.
spring.
I'm not sure. Anyway, so that is a cultural truth. That is so basically spring. Yeah, spring. That's the rainy season. Spring. So their own cultural truth is different from the cultural truth in Nigeria. Yeah. So for someone like this, if you want to create a content for for people in Nigeria, you wouldn't have this caption. It will be captioned differently because then the cultural truth overseas is not the same as the cultural truth in Nigeria. So let's go back to the slide I was. Yeah. So identify your consumers' tension, right, and their cultural truth. So your cultural truth is those environmental factors that influences the life of your consumers. One of them is NEPA. Light. We have very poor lighting system in Nigeria. That's a cultural truth, right? You can go to heaven and earth. It will still be. We will still have poor lighting issues in Nigeria. That's a cultural truth. I'm not talking about fallacies here. These are truths that are true, not that okay. Uh, um, Igbo people know how to make money. That one is fallacy because it's not proven. Right? Yeah, there's some people that know how to. There are a lot of Igbo people that know how to make money, but it's not sacrosanct. There are still Igbo people that don't know how to make money at all. So yeah, after identifying your consumer tension and cultural truth, you then craft out your consumer insight. So from all of this, what is the insight that you're getting about your consumers? So let's go to the next slide and see examples of what I'm talking about in play. So this is a screenshot of your audience summary. So I don't want to import all the slides. So this was like a what's it called? Sorry. Yeah, this was a consumer research done for Blue Band. So no, it's not for Blue Band, for Quaker Oats. Yeah, for Quaker Oats. So this was one of the work I did for Quaker Oats back in the days. And so this is after the research. So this was the summary of who we wanted to talk to. You could see primarily wanted to speak to mothers between this age, right? Then their financial status, people that fall between the C2 to D. Then wanted to speak to people that are semi-educated, that are semi-urban dwellers, that mid to low income earners, right? So the brief, right? Oats wanted to sell more of their sachet products, right? And the sachet sort of appeals to the lower class, but not just to the lower class. People that have that, what's the word for it? People that have that have that aspiring taste. They want to be like Dangote, but since they can't afford, they don't have the body that Dangote has. They go for the next best thing, right? So these are the people we need to reach. That's why we're able to define this. So one of their challenges was basically balancing work and family. They serve as primary purchasers. So this was basically a summary of our audience research. Please, next slide. Then we then brought the audience to life. We give them personas, we give them personality, right? So this is, you can see, meet 30-year-old Bisola. So Bisola has Bisola's aspiration is catering adequately for her children and family. So this is her psychography, right? She wants to do the best for her family. She wants her family to have everything, right? Bisola also wants to be recognized for the development of her child and world. So she wants people to say, hey, your child is growing very well. Your child is fat. Your child na jebo. You get all those kind of statements used to sweet her. She's very aspirational. Yeah, she doesn't have the own money. Like, she doesn't have enough money, right? But then she doesn't want her child to look like her situation. She wants her child to look better than her. I don't know if you guys are following.
Yes, I'm following.
Okay. So basically, we sort of brought the consumer's persona to reality. We defined their behavior, also their passion and interest, their barrier to adoption. Okay, the barrier to adoption is, why are they not using Quaker Oats currently, right? That's the big Quaker Oats, and that's big. Balancing limited funds for family and personal needs. So she has money. Let's say she has 100K, right? But in that 100K, she wants to pay for child school fees. She wants to buy her child new shoes. She wants to make her hair. She wants to cook food for her family. Like, balancing the limited fund for the family and her personal needs. That's like a big challenge for adoption, right? So these are basically just bringing our audience into reality. Can we move to the next slide, please? So for for this brand, for the Quaker Oat brand, we had two personas. We had the primary persona, which were the mothers. We now had the secondary personas, which were the university students, right? So if you see, she has different aspiration from Bisola. So Chioma is in pursuit of educational success. She wants to come out with a 2-1. She wants to be socially inclusive. She wants people to see her as Ajabo, even the fact that she's not rich or rich to that extent. She doesn't want to be considered as Ajapako. She wants to be able to eat what she wants and still look healthy. Like a lot of girls are like, if you ask like 10 girls, what is their biggest problem? Most of them will tell you that no, it's new hair. I want the new hair. I want the new bag. I want the blah blah blah. Nah, especially in Nigeria. Let me change. Especially in Nigeria, if you ask 10 girls in Nigeria, what do they want? Basically, they will tell you it's new hair, it's new car, it's blah blah blah. They will tell you the ability to eat and not have that tube stomach. That tube stomach like my own. Most guys, we don't really care about our tummy. Only those ones that are the ones that are very big on abs and everything, right? Someone like me, I don't really care about my tummy, even though it's not big. I don't really care. But for a lady, right, the psychography is different. They want to eat what they want, right? But they still want to look fit. They still want to look sexy. They still want to look. So that's an aspiration for her, right? So basically, these are just ways of bringing the audience to reality. Let's go to the slide. So for these two audience, what are their attention? Time constraints to prepare breakfast. Because the mom has work, right? She find it difficult to make breakfast for her children in the morning, like cook full-fledged rice and stew, right, for a child, or cook full-fledged whatever for a child. So there's that time constraint because she has to wake up really early, bathe the children, blah blah blah, and also make food for them. So there's that time constraint. Also for the students, because of early morning lectures and whatnot, right? She has to wrestle for that time constraint too. Another tension or another pinpoint for our users, right? Having tasting meal that feels for long. Because the mother is a working class woman, she can't be cooking every day or cooking every time for her kids, right? So she wants to give them tasty meal that would also fuel them for long, right? If she gives her children Indomie, after like 2 hours or 3 hours of playing, the child has come and said, "Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry." She now have to think of something else to make for them. They don't want such challenges, right? They want something that fuels their children for long and it's still tasty, right? Lastly, they want to have a nutritious meal. Oh, sorry. So the nutritious meals are far-fetched and beyond their budget. When they say nutritious meal, all those really fancy, healthy food are quite far-fetched for them. Most of the things that they are used to is like pap and bread, Indomie noodles, which is not that healthy, but it's part of it. So really good nutritious meal are far-fetched and beyond their budget. Let's go to the next slide, please. So what is the consumer insight? So in this consumer insight has the cultural truth. In every consumer insight, there's the cultural truth. So the cultural truth is this: in a fast-paced world where we are pressed to succeed, in Nigeria, everybody is on the hustle to succeed. Am I right? Is there anybody that believe is there anybody in Nigeria that don't feel the need to succeed as an individual? I don't know if you're the person, please. I would like to link up with you. Let me know the secret of your. Maybe you can introduce me. Everybody right now in Nigeria and a hustler. Are they lie? Even the rich, so-called rich men, right? Even the so-called Ajebo, right? They're all forming hustlers. And it's so annoying. You see a guy driving his Benz, and you still say, "Guy, they hustle." You ask yourself, "Guy, what are you hustling?" Now we the hustle, that don't mean the hustle. Sure you get. So yeah, in a fast-paced world, everybody's pressed to succeed. Everybody wants to succeed in one thing that they are doing, right? So that's the cultural truth in Nigeria, right? But um, the insight right now is in a fast-paced world, everyone is pressed to succeed. But I want to, but yet balancing my personal and family needs is getting tough. So what she wants to do, what she wants to achieve, is give her children tasty, filling, and nutritious breakfast. But the challenge to achieving this is balancing her personal and family needs is getting tough. So what this basically means is that I get to work, I got to wake up early for morning, right? To go to work, to prepare my children and to go to work. The small 50K where they make a salary, I go still buy soundtrack for my pikin, I go still buy book for my pikin, I go still buy this for my pikin, right? So the money they come in as I want. From that same money, I go still make my hair. I will still do this, I will still do that. So there's a lot of pressure that is sort of making it hard for her to achieve her her goals. So if she doesn't have all those personal and family needs, she can easily close her eyes and buy the big sachet quicker out of 1,000 plus or 2,000 for her kids, and they finish it in like 3 days. She wouldn't even bother. Do you get? But all those things are sort of eating into our finances. So that's like the consumer insight. Let's go to the next slide. So yeah, so we're done with crafting. What's it called? Consumer insight. I don't know if anyone has any question. Do anybody have any question before I move on? Any question before I move on? Any question before I move on? Any question? Okay, I'm just going to move on. So, crafting brand insight. So let's move. Yeah, crafting brand insight. You're there already. Let's move to the next slide. So, in creating brand content, right? We want to engage our consumers with our brand values, with our brand story. Remember what we said, that a content isn't a branded content if it's not telling a brand story. So that's why the fact that we understand our audience, we have an insight of what our audience need, right? We also want to craft a brand story, right? That sort of tallies with our brand insight. How do you do that, right? Sorry, let me just read this. Another item within content marketing strategy is about setting your business apart from the competitors. Yeah. And what sets your business apart from the competitors is basically developing branded content around these solutions you provide that will both help you drive conversions and build engagement with your consumers. Right? Your brand insight are a deep understanding of how your consumers perceive your brand, and this insight and this basically give you these three things: your brand promise. So one of the brand promises that iPhone gives you is security. Your phone cannot be hacked, right? So they give you this secure platform where okay, I'm using an iPhone, you can't do me shit. You can't do nothing to me, right? That's one of iPhone's promises. Aside, one of their brand promises also includes durability. Crash, unlike other Samsung or Techno phone, if you use for like 2 years, it could crash. But if you use an iPhone, you know that you're going to use it to your tired of using it. So these are brand promises, right? Aside your brand promises, the reason to buy. So an iPhone user is not buying an iPhone because of what the product offers. An iPhone user is buying an iPhone because of that social inclusion. They want to feel like they belong. That is the reason why I want to buy an iPhone. For the mother that wants to give her child quicker oats, right? She wants to give her child quicker because she wants to sort of, Okay, let's use an example. A mother that stays in face me and face you, right? That gives her child quicker oats. The sachet quicker out. So instead of buying pap ogi that is 50 there and give her child, you try to jekpako. She makes quicker oats for her neighbors to see that, see, yeah, and the food na stay here, but by picking her. That is the reason why she have feeling of, you're treating your child better than us, so better than our children. Do you get? Do you get her following?
Yes, we're following, Victor. We're following.
Yeah. So these are reasons to buy, right? These are reasons for why people buy particular product, not because of what the product is offering. Sincerely, the value, the product value that iPhone is offering, Samsung is offering it. Sincerely, but why are we paying more? Because of that social inclusion. That feeling of, okay, I'm better than you. And it's very big in Nigeria. It's funny. It's funny. Nigeria is one country where everybody wants to pepper everybody. It's why the pepper them gang at some point was ready. It became a thing. Because everybody wants to pepper everybody. One person wants to pepper somebody. Wants to show that, okay, I'm better than you in one way or the other.
For
I
no
don't know if
reason.
that's correct.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. For no reason.
For no reason. For no reason. I used to have a friend, right? A colleague actually, it's a senior colleague, right? And then at my work, not then, now at my work, they pay us this 12-month salary and 13-month salary. And they recently promoted her, so her 13-month salary was a lot. So she got a car. This is someone that is very learned, though. Very, 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 very learned. Right? She even has a master, right? And she has a car before she bought the new car. I was like, why did you buy a new car? I thought you had a working car. I said, yeah, so but no, but she did travel. She said she was traveling to the village that December. And she wanted to go and pepper them at the village. This is someone that is very, very, very learned. So you wonder, why you won't go pepper your village people? What they do you? Do you understand how Nigerians think? So we all, in some way or the other, want to make the next person feel like we are better than them, either intentionally or unintentionally, right? So yeah, your brand insight will capture your reason to buy. Then the brand benefit, right? So the brand benefit can also be tied to the product benefit. For an example, because it's an iPhone, it's going to be quality. Because it's an iPhone, it's going to be secure. These are benefit of using of these are brand benefit. Okay, for an example, because it's Nike, the shoe that you're buying is going to be durable. It's going to last. Because it's Nike, the shoe that you're going to buy is going to be very comfortable. So these are all benefit of using a particular brand. Do you get? So let's move to the next slide. So this is an example of crafting a brand. So I did this for Supramalt. I took this screenshot from one of the documents I did for Supramalt. So if you can see, I identified a brand promise. That brand promise was to provide a uniquely formulated multivitamin that helps fight stress and boost your body immunity. Reason to buy, it's very affordable. It's unlike other multivitamin products. This was very cheap, very affordable. Another reason to buy, health and wellness. So a lot of fit farm people will see the need to buy this because they want to stay healthy. A lot of people that are very conscious about their health, you see the need to buy this because they want to stay healthy. So the benefit of the brand, right, or the product, it boosts your immunity. Additional benefits is from gypsum and whatever. So boost energy, support brain, whatever. So all these are just product benefits. Right? But the brand inside is Supermont an affordable health and wellness drugs that fortifies and boosts your immunity. So this is the message or the core message they want to pass across to their, or this is the core message they want their users to get from their communication, that they are an affordable health and wellness brand that if you use, you fortify and boost your immunity, right? So next slide, please. crafting your single-minded proposition. Next slide, please. So, what is your single-minded proposition? This is not big English. This is your core message that you want to pass across to with your branded content. So every content has a message they want to pass across. Every message has the core, like that thing that you want your users to understand about your brand, right? So if I'm doing a skit video about a brand, at the end of the skit video, what do I want, or what is the takeaway to take out from that skit video? So that is your single-minded proposition. That single-minded offering that you want to highlight to your consumers. So your single-minded proposition is an intersection point between your consumer attention, your cultural truth, and brand insight. Your single-minded proposition provides a communication solution to your consumer attention. So if your consumer is saying, hey, I can't work, your single-minded proposition must communicate effectively that solution to I can't work. So if your consumer say I can't work, the single-minded position will highlight that, okay, see, we offer product that will make you work, right? So your single-minded proposition provides a communication solution to your consumer attention, despite the cultural truth. So we can't ignore the cultural truth because it sort of plays like a vital role, right, in where your consumers are. So despite the cultural truth, right, solution to your consumer attention, leveraging your brand offering. So the solution that your communication is provided, your communication is saying, okay, I can give, is leveraging your brand offering, what your brand offers, right? So despite the cultural truth, right, I'm offering you a solution based on my brand offering. That's basically what your SMP is. So your SMP is your core communication message. Let's go to the next slide, please. So this is for the quick out. So I just pulled this out from the slide that I did for quick out. So if you see here, the consumer truth is that I want to offer tasty, filling, and nutritious breakfast to my family. Every young mom, every student, or every young mom wants to offer tasty and filling, nutritious breakfast meal to their family, right? But the cultural truth here is that Nigerians are pressed with time and cost in making choices for breakfast in their family. So every family, this is like a truth, like a culture. Every family in Nigeria, right, are pressed with that need of balancing costing and also balancing the time, especially the working moms, right? So for in their choices of making, and the tea is almost like water. It's not those really conk tea or those very nice tea. It's not even see most people you go for Indomie. Brand Truth Quicker Oat offers a wholesome meal rich in energy and say it that is quick to prepare. So you remember one of the challenges that the consumers face because of their environment is time, right? As a working class mom that have to wake up by 6 o'clock, I don't have time to start making good food for my kids, right? So Quaker Oats already offers you that quick meal that is also rich in energy and satiety. That's it, basically nutritious. Therefore, offering you goodness that lasts. What is our single-minded proposition? Our single-minded communication, goodness that lasts. So if you see this goodness that lasts sort of captures everything here. It's like that intersection point for everything here, right? I'm giving you goodness that lasts. That was our communication from that. So let's go to the next slide. So let's go to the next slide. So this is for supramote. Supramote, your surest access to boost your immunity. So these are our single-minded communication. We want to let everybody know, okay, once they see our ads. No, go to the next slide, Victor. So once they see our post on Instagram or Facebook, they want them to say, okay, supramote is that surest access to boost your immunity. That is what we wanted people to understand. That was our single-minded proposition. So let's go back. Continue to the next slide. So the last but not the least in crafting content, branded content to drive marketing and promotion is your messaging tone. Yeah, you have your single-minded proposition. You have that core message you want to communicate. How do you then communicate it? That is your messaging tone or your tone of voice. So your messaging tone or tone of voice, this is how the character of your business come through in your words, both written or spoken. This is not about what you say, but rather it is the way you say it, the impression it makes to everyone in your audience who reads or hear you. So for an example, most brands that want to leverage, most brands that want to be perceived as quirky, right? They already crafted at their single-minded proposition. You realize that most of their posts comes off as quirky. Yeah, despite the fact that they are communicating their message, it comes off as quirky. There's some people there's some brands that want their brand to be perceived as friendly, right? Their communication style is always sort of like a friend, like as if a friend is talking to you, right? So most times you forget that, oh, this is actually a brand. You think maybe it's your friend, right? So there are different ways of communicating, and I've listed below examples of tone of voice. Could be friendly, could be quirky, could be funny, it could be inspiring, it could be informative, it could be empathic. So most thought leaders or most brands that are thought leaders leverage the inspiring and informative tone of voice in communicating their single-minded proposition, right? Now, most brands are now leveraging funny comedy because we see that comedy sort of engages people these days. So most brands are leveraging comedy. There are some brands that you see that are very, very, very quirky. Can I remember a brand that is quirky? I know most American brands, especially brands like Red Bull in America, their posts are quite quirky. But most Nigerian brands don't try. Oh yeah, who remembers the Sterling Bank shades and whatnot? I don't know if you guys remember that Sterling Bank period where they were shading other banks, right? So if you notice most of their quotes, it was a bit quirky. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I can't recall that.
You said?
I can't recall that particular.
Oh, you
Line.
can't remember when Access Bank was shading other banks. It's not Access Bank, Sterling Bank. Sterling Bank. Yeah, we're shading other banks. Well, you can't remember it. Oh wow, it was a good time for us. They use different pictures of different banks.
Saying Sterling Bank going to space.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm, if you see the ad, these guys didn't say much, but the communication, the artwork was very quirky and they were sort of shading. It had this very dark, sarcastic humor to it. Do you get? Yeah. So some brand leverage just to drive. Yeah. There was a lot of clapback and bass on that period. Yeah. So yeah, all of these people leverage just to communicate their brand value. So if you see everything in that whole shenanigan, right? They had a core communication that they were trying to communicate. They wanted people to know that they are what's it called? Oh, what's the word? They're the new generation bank that is taking them from point A to point B, not just point B, taking them above their what's it called, their expectation. They sort of communicating that okay, they are a brand that won over overreach that goes beyond human limitation. So if you feel as a person, right, I want to do beyond what um, beyond what's made available to me, I want to bank with Sterling, because then they're sort of overreaching. Do you get? So next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these are also types of tone of voice. So this was tone of voice we used for Supramot. Yeah, this was the tone of voice we used for Supramot, because it's a health brand. We want it to be friendly. We want it to come off as friendly. So you could use multiple tone of voice. Your tone of voice can might not be restricted to one style. So it could be multiple. So because it's a health brand, we want it to come out as friendly, as helpful. Also wanted to inspire people. We also wanted to inform people, because it's also an health brand. So if you see all of this, it sort of ties to who the brand is. It's a health brand. As a health brand, it should be empathetic, right? Also, we also wanted to inform people. We wanted also to position ourselves as a thought leader by being informative and also inspiring. We also wanted to let people know, okay, yeah, communicating with us is not just like a one-way street, it's a two-way street. So we can help you whenever you need help. So we wanted to come up as that friendly brand that got your back. So next slide. So this was pulled out from one of a presentation we did for Zenith Bank. So wanted to position the brand as a brand that is up to date, that is trending, that is up to date with the latest that's happening. Also wanted our communication to come off as entrepreneurial, as adventurous, as inspiring, as determined, as smart. Right. So these are just different types of communication, tone of voice that you could use on social media. So next slide. So yeah, we've identified how to create a branded content that will drive promotion or marketing for your brand. But if as a brand, right, you just have, let's say, 100 followers, and you have this really good content that the world needs to see, and you just have 100 followers, what do you do? Promote, right? So you can't leave. How do I put it now? Yeah, despite the fact that promotion it's not key for creating a branded content, it is necessary to reach a large portion of your audience. So you need to promote as much as you can do. So please, next slide. So creating content is pointless if no one will ever see it. Your website needs to have helpful content that talks about the solutions your company provides for your target audience. There are two things that are vital when developing a content. Make sure it's easy to find. Basically, optimizing your content, it's on your website, optimize it so that it's visible on search engine, right? It's visible on Google, it's visible on Bing, right? Make your content easy to find and shareable. If it's on social media, make it shareable, right? Make it content that people are likely to share, retweet, repost, put on their story, right? Then aside that, set aside a budget to promote your content, because there's no point having great content and very limited people are seeing it. You need to just see it as a business necessity. That yeah, I'm churning out great content, but I'm setting aside 2 naira, 5 naira, just to give this my great content a push so that more people can see it. Sincerely, I haven't seen a viral content that hasn't been promoted. Except, well, sorry, that is branded. Let me paraphrase. I haven't seen a branded content that went viral, that wasn't pushed, that wasn't promoted. I haven't seen. If you have, please just let me know if you have. But me, myself, in my whole 6 to 7 years of being a digital marketer and a growth strategist, I haven't seen, to be sincere. So that's all for. So let's move to the next slide, please. So over time, your business will develop a strong. So after leveraging all of this and doing it consistently over time, your business will develop a strong foundation of content that will be well received in the digital space. Now that you have like the few solid tips to think about when developing content that will help build your brand, what are you waiting for? Get started now and start creating content that will drive marketing or promotion for your brand. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Any questions?
Wow, that was a very, very, very good session. Thank you very much. Okay,
You're
let's take
welcome.
questions now. Let's take questions quickly because of our time. Yes, Abdulabi said very interesting. I tell you, very interesting one. Amazing one, Victor. That's by Esther.
Well, thank you very much, Esther. I also really enjoyed your session too.
Very insightful.
Thank you very much, Kelechi.
So insightful. Afolabi.
Thank you very much,
There's
Afolabi.
interesting feedback. That means everyone followed through with the class.
Yeah.
Everyone, please let's say a big thank you to Mr. Victor for this very powerful section. Let's say a big thank you to him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate for the time for me to share my little knowledge in this. I really appreciate it.
He said it's knowledge. This is very broad. This is master class level.
Well,
Master class
thank God.
level. Thank you very,
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Thank you very much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
I think no questions. My head is really, as Chairman said, my head is really interesting. Too much to take through. So,
You're
what
welcome,
we're going
Choma.
to do is, I think we'll thank you very,
You're
very
welcome.
much.
I would also advise that we sort of
Yes, I'm with you.
hello. Yeah,
I'm
so
with you.
I would also advise the listeners to get on board with the hub, because you can't just learn everything one day. I'm pretty sure most of us will need assistance
Yes,
or guidance in the
yes.
future. So it just
Let
makes sense
me,
just to
let
get
me
on
put
board.
that on.
And aside that, it's advisable that we sort of pay get the certificate of participation, if not for anything, for that social currency that hey, I'm certified to be a content writer. If not for anything, for that social currency, yeah, you might not, because it's I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it's also valid in getting jobs though. But because it's not hard copy, you might not be able to present it for interviews. But then it can be part of your portfolio while you're sending it out to. I know Esther mentioned something about having a portfolio instead of a CV. So while you're sending out your portfolio to potential employer, you can also attach that. Okay, see, I'm also this is a certification of attendance for a content writing class. So I'm not just doing things just based on my own knowledge. I've had people come and tutor me. So it just makes sense, basically.
Thank you very much, Victor, for that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just like that, Mr. Victor is very, very much I'm really grateful. I'm so glad that you honored our invitation. Thank you very much.
You're
Also, Esther, thank you very much for
welcome.
staying with us even to this point. Thank you very much. And your session two was so powerful, so powerful. And I'm sure those can that joined, it pained me that network didn't allow me to be able to participate fully. But I'm very sure that those that joined during your session actually gained a lot. Thank you very much also. Thank you very much. God bless you. Also to Sheyi Adeshino who set the foundation for this class yesterday. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. So stay with us even to the end. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I can't just express how excited I am that you guys have stayed with us to this point. Afolabi Joshua, thank you very much. Chioma Jeremiah, thank you for also participating fully in the class, sharing your participating fully and contributing during the class. Thank you, Kelechi Obaogo. Thank you, Oluwakolimi Michael. Thank you, Oyetolani Salame. Thank you, every one of you. And as we go on, so we're going to provide more information to you guys on the WhatsApp group about how you can join the Creative Writer Hub. So we're going to provide more information to you, and you can also send us a message, a direct message. Yeah, let me just put that up so that everyone can see it, so I can get more up. So this is our Instagram handle. You can follow us at Creative Media House. Creative Media House on Instagram. Creative Media House, and you can also follow our skill acquisition platform. That's at Noble Networks. School. Also on Instagram, you'll be able to get all our updates. And feel free to save our contact on WhatsApp so that you can also see all our updates that will be shared via our WhatsApp status. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. The class has finally come to an end. And for now, I'll say have a wonderful evening and have a great weekend. See you in our next class. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks much.